What's up, guys? It's Cece, and I saw the newest episode of Tangled series, The Quest for Varian, and all I have to say is, what the heck? I was like on the edge of my seat. Like, my mom was like, we're doing something, and then she heard me like freaking out about everything that was going on, so she came in and watched the rest of it with me because she got so roped in that, especially during one of the commercial breaks, she's about to stand up, but then it said that it was back from the commercial break, so she sat back down because she wanted to know what happened. So I think this is one of the best episodes of Tangled I've ever seen because I was like so surprised because it roped in like with the tower and the rocks, and I think it's also the most serious episode and sad, so far because the tower is gone now. So let's go through the timeline, I guess. So first, Rapunzel and her dad are like decorating like the courtyard and like something like that, and then she sees this little kite thing. It's like the lanterns from the movie, but has this little like note hanging from it. And then all of a sudden it takes her to a dream sequence where basically she's has her hair down and the hair is glowing, and her dad says, "Stay here with me." And then Varian to the other side is a bridge saying, "Rapunzel, like you promised," kind of like from the Queen for a Day special. And he's like yelling for her, and then her dad gets caught. Then Rapunzel's dad gets caught in the rocks, and she's just like, "No, like this can't be." And then she turns to Varian, and then he starts running toward her, and then there's this huge explosion. And then we see she's woken up from her dream, but she's hanging in midair by her hair, like the tower thing, because in the castle, if you look, like when they're showing the entire castle, there's just one tall tower on the side. So that's where Rapunzel's hair is, and like where Rapunzel's room is. That like you see her hair flowing out, in the Tangled Forever After short. So not short, but the movie. But so that's her room. So she's hanging from the top of like her room on her balcony, and her hair's like wrapped around it, and she's like falling. So Eugene's like catches her like on the balcony, and he like asks if she's okay, and she's like, I don't know. And then she tells her dad about the stuff, and he's like, we're not talking about it. She shows Cass and Eugene about what her dream was, and like where her little mural thing in a room is with like all her adventures. She takes a bunch of pieces of paper and makes kind of like a huge picture with it, and shows her with the rocks and stuff. And she said it was like all of it was connected, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So Cass is like, what do you want to do about this? And so this is when she asked her dad. He says, we're not talking about this. And she wants to help Varian, but her dad keeps saying no. And he's like, see, it's all taken care of, okay? We've been removing the rocks, and everyone's happy, okay? That's all that's going on. When then Rapunzel's like, oh, okay. But then, so Rapunzel, Eugene, and Cass are walking this around the place, and kids are like, happy birthday, Rapunzel. And, because it's her birthday soon. And, so she's walking. She has that statue that we see in Rapunzel's Enemy with Uncle Monty where we first meet him and the gopher grab. So she's walking and she goes to that like statue where there's a bunch of presents for her from the town because it's her birthday. And then she sees that kite that she saw in her dream of the lantern and the note. She reads it, and it's from Varian, and it's saying that she needs her help now more than ever, and like grab this graph tick thing and to come to El Corona. So the three of them go, and Rapunzel sees one rock. And she's like, "My dad said they're all gone. Like, why is this still here?" And Cass is like, "Do you think he lied?" And Rapunzel's like, "No, I trust him and stuff." And then Eugene's like, "So what? They missed one rock." Then Cass is like, guys, you better see this. Like old Corona. Like seriously." Like, there's a house that's, like, sideways. There's, like, rocks everywhere. He's like, okay, they missed 100. That's just messed up. So, they're trying to get to Varian's house or basement, whatever you want to call it. I've heard it's his house's basement, but I don't know. And, so they're trying to get there, but all these rocks, almost like a maze. They have to get through it, and Cat's like, be careful, because you know what happens when you touch the rocks. Because we know that from the Tangled Forever After movie. And so like, well, Rapunzel is kind of like freaking out, trying to figure out what to do, and Eugene's trying to like calm her down. Cass sees this little guy just like walking, like this mysterious guy. It's almost like in a cloak. He's like completely black, and you can see him just like disappear like off the side, and she just like bugs it off. But then they getting to Varian's house, and they're looking around, and they find it, and apparently there's this box that like turned like their hair color different and exploded their face when they dusted it off, and it was fine. It happened to Cass and Eugene, which was actually kind of funny. But it's a really deep episode. Like it's hard to go through it in like one video. So if I need to, this might be a 2-part video, but I'm hoping not. And so basically, Rapunzel finds this little like the graphic thing that everyone was talking about, and then she sees when they're about to leave the room, she's like this huge mound is in the middle of everything. She doesn't know what it is. There's a hole through it, and it has a hand and it has a letter. It says "son," blah 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 blah. We don't know what it says because we didn't actually read it. And then she takes off the like blanket thing over him. It's Varian's dad. It's in the middle of all of that, and like we still don't know what his dad's letter said because, well, number one, it's crumpled up and like so it's like coming out from up here and down here. So some half of it you can't even see, and so like Rapunzel's in shock. We think, okay, this is worse than I thought. Then the guy that Cass saw earlier starts coming in the room, and so she grabs out her sword and starts fighting him, and then she ends up getting tied by the ankles. Like, he like ends like pushing her back, and then he throws a rope and ties her ankles. And then Eugene's like, you just crossed the line. I was actually kind of surprised by this, because, like, Eugene never really stands up for Cassandra, so I was like, okay, so they're starting to warm up to each other. Now they're starting to become like a 3-person friendship group. So I was like actually kind of happy about that. And then Rapunzel tries it, and the guy says, "Give me the graphic, give me it," and she doesn't. But so she's throwing all these alchemy stuff, like things that were like on a desk and a wall by her, and so she's like, "I have a whole wall, and I'm not afraid to use it." So she ends up it ends up like getting out of her hands and rolls across the room. And to stop him, she takes these little balls, kind of like Honey Lemon from Big Hero 6, when she throws them and they stick, and it stuck the guy. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like the first episode. That's sweet. And then she ends up getting it, and they like run and try to get out. And while they're trying to get back out of the maze, like the guy keeps popping up everywhere, and Eugene's like, how fast is this guy? And then really they get out there and realize it's not just one guy, it's a bunch of guys. They all look the same. And so Max, however you want to call him, like smacks him off the frying pan, and then they like run, like we had to get somewhere, like we gotta go. And so they're thinking, why don't we go home? And then they're like, no, we need some place to hide. So Rapunzel takes him to a cliff, and Eugene's like, are we? And them going down the cliff, and then really, if you remember from the Tangled movie, Eugene falls down the cliff, and then he finds Rapunzel in the tower. So Rapunzel's like, I'm surprised you didn't recognize this place, Eugene. And then she opens, because there's that like leaf wall thing. She opens it, and there is like her tower, but the rocks are there too. So then getting in the tower, and this is actually noticed that this is the first time Cassandra's ever been in the tower. And she's like examining everything, like looking at all of it. And the thing that still creeps me out about the tower is that her hair, when Eugene cut it in the movie, it's still there on the ground. They didn't do anything to it. And so Eugene's like giving Maximus a tour of it, and Hansel and Cassandra are just bugging him off and like trying to like open the graphic. I keep calling it graphite and graphic thing, and it's like a scroll thing. And so Eugene looks out the window. He's like, and here's where Mother Gothel fell to her doom. guys, and then they look over. The guys are climbing up with the arrows, kind of like Eugene did in the movie. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, how can they climb that fast? And so Rapunzel's like, I have a new strategy. I'm going to lift up my hair. So she did. And then touching one of the rocks. And so then like this huge explosion thing. And so all the guys are knocked out. And then the rocks are growing. And they start going up the tower, which is really weird. And so it starts like getting like wobbly. So they're trying to go down the hatchway, like the little hatch that Mother Gothel did when she figured out Rapunzel wasn't there at the tower in the movie. And but then the rocks are coming up that way. So they went onto the roof because there's that little opening, like when she was showing Mother Gothel that she's charged stars, but the lanterns were not stars. So they get up there, and then they're on the roof, but the rocks are still chasing them on the roof too. So they just jump, and Rapunzel's hair is glowing, and then ends up wrapping them in a ball, and then they like bounce, and then the cast's like, "Is that new?" And also the saddest part about this episode is that the tower just falls and it's gone, and the only thing left is the little picture of her when she first painted that little area of her looking at the lanterns in that one area, where it was like, kind of like a mural. That it was just her like looking at the lanterns, and I was just like, this is so sad. Like, I almost cried. And well, then we see the guys are like everywhere, and one of them has their helmet off. So Rapunzel rushes over and takes the helmet, and she's like, it's time for answers. The guy looks up, it's Cassandra's dad, and she's like, dad? Like, I was like, what the heck? Why is her dad a part of this? What is going on? And he says, Princess, we were ordered to take the graphic from you. And she's like, who ordered you? And he's quiet, and there's all the guards are with him. And Cassandra's like, answer her, now. And he says, your father. And so she's like shocked. And then last thing we see is just the crumbled tower. Everyone's looking at it. I was like overwhelmed. I'm like, what is going on? Like, so apparently, I noticed a lot of traits from Cassandra and Rapunzel have in common. Like, they're both only child, like, only child daughters. They both have a boy companion of an animal that kind of describes their personality. And their dads are being very secretive. Well, Cassandra also has, like, traits kind of like Eugene, like, they're both orphans and stuff. But I was just like, okay, so Cassandra's family and Rapunzel's family are just like being really secretive, and it's just why? That's the only question I have about this. And so the next episode, The Alchemist Returns, I think it's gonna be really cool because like we get to see more Varian. I thought we were gonna see a lot of Varian in this episode, but apparently it's just in the dream sequence. And Grace and we were like coming up with ideas of what, like, because remember in Not in the Mood, he takes a potion and goes, what do we have here? So we were thinking, what if he actually, like, took it and he ended up turning evil? Like, that's what we were wondering. But I still have questions from this entire thing. Like, some of my questions aren't answered, and I hope some of them will. Because I'm like, is Varian evil? Because the last thing we hear in Queen's Day is, they will pay. That's the last thing we hear. And then we heard about, like, the whole Zontiri thing. And then, like, they're fighting and their moves go switched up. And now this is the most serious episode I've ever seen of Tangled, and the saddest, and the most exciting. So I'm really excited for the next episode, Alchemist Returns. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join the CC Squad. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know in the comments down below. Are you excited for the next episode? Are you excited about this TV series? I know I am. And Musically is in the description. It's basically the name of this channel, CC Music Mermaid. It's just all lowercase. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye!